It's time now to tackle the headline. And boys, let's pretend these studio lights are the sun of the Gold Coast and that we are sitting in the thick of it at the CEO Summit. Let's pretend we actually have some power in this game, Ralphie. And what would be your agenda? If you're sitting up there at People First Stadium, you've got arguably some of the greatest minds of the game and the most powerful men and women at their desks. You are setting the agenda. What are you kicking off with?
I've been banging on forever and ever about insufficient intent. I'm so boring. She knows that in the Herald Sun offices. And I love what the AFL has done with it. They've really hardened it up. The thing is, they just haven't been consistent about it. You know, we see someone trying to kick to touch and then we're seeing someone skew off the side. So I really feel if we went between the arcs, we went effectively last touch out for only kicks and handballs, not for being bundled over the boundary line, people would lose their minds for 4 weeks and then they would say, actually, this is a really good rule. So I'm all for that, and I would harden up the rush behind rule as well. You know, the touchy, accidentally on purpose stuff. I would say that there is absolutely no way that you're allowed to take the ball over the line unless you're spoiling the ball across. And think about that being an electric fence, how exciting it would be on the last line. Those skillful players who can, you know, duck and weave and, you know, do their stuff in a phone box. We would see the best of them, and that would be fantastic. And the other one, quickly, Corbin, his hands in the back. You know, I can't co-opt it. I can co-opt it from Jared Healy, who's been obviously the person who's pushed hardest on this. Why do we ever bring this rule back in to allow players to put hands into the back? All it means is that players like Tom Lynch and Butts shove and push, and rather than mark the ball or push for the highest arc of the ball. I think it's been a really bad rule that the AFL has gone back to. I think both of those would really appreciably improve the aesthetics of the game.
Well, I think the flow-on effects of that one too. I mean, we've all sat at a game where someone is sitting behind you screaming in the back all the time.
Yeah.
And I spend a lot of time at local footy, and it just creates more grey area in those sort of flow-ons down to community footy where there's a little bit of a push or a shove. Or I think, as you say, Ralphie, clarity can only be a good thing. Corbin, take us away from rules at the moment. I know, talk about things that have been co-opted, but I think it was our man Corbin's fresh idea about moving opening round. This is something that you're particularly passionate about, a big pet for you.
Yeah, in another life, I think I'm going to come back in a fixture role at the AFL and put my fixture hat on.
Watch out, Josh Bowler. Watch out, Marcus.
It's coming for you.
Opening round, clearly. If we can move opening round, put it in the middle of the season, takes care of two issues in one.
So give us the 30-second praise here, because everyone else has stolen it and bastardised it from your initial impression.
So Lions, Suns, Giants, Swans, the 4 home games we get in opening round, they are now in July.
Yep. In
the school holidays. Basically, we clear our buys in that time. So 9 games spread across 2 weeks, 5 on one week, 4 on the other. On the 4 weekend, those 4 teams from the northern markets are all going to play at home. And in opening round, we're going to start with a bang, as opposed to a soft launch, and all 18 teams are going to be involved for the opener. So that's the way that I'd do it. And so we sort of have a northern week celebration of those teams rather than in the opening round of the season.
And let's face it, I think we're all grown up enough not to be scared of the NRL or whatever other code it might be who would steal a middle round in the middle weekend of the AFL. If everyone got a bye, you might play one game. It might be Sydney versus Collingwood like it was back in the good old days. But I think we all believe that we've hit a real hurdle of 5 weeks of byes, and then we've got 8 or 9 weeks of football where, let's face it, we haven't got enough games to really get the momentum back in the season again.
What about wild cards while you're on the tinkering?
So I'm a strong yes. I heard Simon Goodwin on AFL 360 last week talk about he's a proponent of divisions and conferences. So I know this is very Americanised for people to get their head around, but basically you've got 18 teams. They're in divisions of 3. And so basically we've got 6 different groups. The winner of all 6 groups automatically qualify for the finals. After that, if you finish second in your group, or even third if you win enough games, you'll qualify for a wild card weekend, which means there are the remaining spots that can be won for teams that are outside of division winners. So
didn't we have this issue in the AFLW where all of a sudden those two divisions, as it was so distorted that one team won more games and the team in the other division still didn't get in the finals?
But I think 6 lots of 3 as opposed to that, which was almost
It's just split
two and a half.
Yep.
I think that'll sort of factor in a little bit more of it, and that's where the wildcards come in to basically protect the teams that are second and even third in some instances. So say you had Geelong, Brisbane and Collingwood all in the same division, only one team would get the automatic start in the finals, and the other 2 teams, if they win enough games, they'll still compete in the wildcard anyway, because you have to play every team in the competition and then you play your division mate twice, basically, as the season goes on. That brings us up to, how's my mental maths going? 17 plus 4 brings you to 21 games, and all of a sudden we've got ourselves a season.
Perfect. So speaking of divisions, there's no real greater division than when it comes to grand final start time. Every barbecue I have been to for the better part of 5 years, Ralphie, you've got the twilight crew, the night mob, the traditionalists like me who love the afternoon time slot. I'm sure this is being spoken about on the Gold Coast.
Well, I would let one single performer choose what time she would like the grand final to start, because that single performer is Kylie Minogue. So just go to Kylie Minogue with an open checkbook. Is it 10 million? Is it 20 million? Is it 30 million? Whatever it is, stuff junior development, stuff all that stuff, and just say, Kylie, you can have an hour if you want, pre-match, post-match, in between, whatever it is. Andrew Dillon, get Kylie Minogue for us. She would be fantastic. Who cares about Foo Fighters or Rob Thomas? I don't even know who Rob Thomas is. Get Kylie Minogue. That's all I'm asking of you. You've got about 5 years of your AFL tenure, Andrew Dillon. Get it done for us.
Where are you on this? Because I know us newspaper types, we are very heavily against the night/twilight. We don't want to be sitting at the MCG filing until 2 a.m, but you're a showman.
Yeah, I'm a big twilight advocate. So not quite all the way in the night time, but enough that it can start later. You can have your pre-match entertainment sort of at night, or at least in the twilight before daylight saving kicks in. So the whole thing's done and dusted by 7:30, 8 o'clock. Enough time to party afterwards.
No. I just can't get Kylie out of my head. I just can't.
I'm also a no on Kylie as well, by the way.
No on Kylie?
So
how come?
It's not going to move the needle for me.
Why? You would not get, OK, yes or no, you would not get up out of your seat like Lionel Richie, he's going to be no good, and then all of a sudden, all night long, you didn't get up and dance?
Yeah, I appreciate, I'll enjoy it when I'm there, the same way I did with Kiss and Robbie Williams and everything else, but I wouldn't go out of my way to say that's going to move the needle for me.
There you go, that's for the digital boys. I'm a no on Kylie. There you go.
And Ralphie singing Can't Get You Out of My Head. I don't think I'll be able to get out of my head the image of Ralphie in the Kylie bodysuit from here on in. Hey, they don't need a two-day summit on the Gold Coast because we've just about solved it. We know they're not out for a glitzy dinner up at Broadbeach or sitting in their hotel rooms. They're watching Tackle the Headline. I'm sure that's great from you boys. We'll see you next time.
Is that how you sing it or not?